Welcome back to Stu Studio, Conservative Takes on Music. This past weekend was the 2026 American Music Awards. I've only been doing the show since January, and I think this is like my 5th or 6th awards ceremony that I've covered. I feel like that's all I'm covering lately. So you gotta wonder, is being a musician really about making music, or is it about going to be around other rich, successful people who celebrate each other? But I guess it's worth it to acknowledge some American artists at the American Music Awards, which opened with K-pop band BTS in a recorded concert of theirs. So right off the bat, not American, fine. And the host, Queen Latifah, launched into her opening bit. She co-hosted back in 1995 with Tom Jones and country singer Lori Morgan. She said this would be a ceremony celebrating legends from the past, present, and future. I don't know how you know who the future legends are in music, but maybe that's tipping their hand a little bit, just saying they're going to decide who the legends are. But Miss Latifah referenced her very long career, saying that a lot has changed in the past 31 years. But this really just set the tone for the entire night. It reminded us that there's nothing new in the music industry, and everyone is leaning heavily on nostalgia, trying to make money on what's worked before rather than making something new. Even the winner of Artist of the Year, BTS, has only just started making new music for the first time in 4 years. Like, we don't even know if their comeback is gonna stick, because recently they've been overshadowed by bands like Stray Kids or 17. I mean, it's not their fault that they took a 4-year hiatus. They were carrying out their mandatory military service in good Korea, but they are just now getting back over their own feet. Like, haven't there been bigger artists that have been doing more lately? Like Taylor Swift, arguably the biggest musical artist in the entire world right now. She released The Life of a Showgirl last year, which broke the internet. It broke the New York party scene, broke record player sales, just broke modern society in general. But of the 8 awards that Taylor was nominated for, she did not win a single one. So the most successful and influential artist is not even acknowledged at the American Music Awards. Not that she seemed to care very much. She was far away at a Cleveland basketball game watching her fiance chug beers on the Jumbotron and ask for gum out of her purse. But she's also planning like a 3-day wedding, the biggest wedding probably since the last royal wedding. So maybe bringing famous weddings to America is getting her snubbed elsewhere. But again, this is the American Music Awards. At least the album of the year went to Sabrina Carpenter for her album Man's Best Friend. I'm not gonna say I really thoroughly enjoyed this album, but she is keeping the hits alive. She's staying relevant with performances at Coachella, planning her next tour after her Short and Sweet tour ended. This album might not be as good as Short and Sweet, but at least the award went to an artist who is working her ass off and doing well for herself. Not that you could really give album of the year to a nostalgic album. You kind of have to give it to an album that was made in the last year. Still should have been Life of a Showgirl, but whatever. Zac Brown Band won Best Country Duo or Group. But again, this is an act that I don't think is relevant. Like, what have they been doing lately? Have they been putting out any new music? I don't think so. All I can think that they've done is their weirdly satanic show at the Sphere. So if that's enough to stay relevant and win awards, whatever. The Best Americana Folk Artist went to Noah Kahan, who the entire time I thought was Petey doing one of his TikTok skits. He could have also passed as Evan Parrish, but I guess I've seen his face on a cardboard cutout at King Soopers before, so he must be relevant. At least Morgan Wallen won Male Country Artist of the Year, officially overcoming his cancellation from a few years ago. His release this last year was a great album. I don't think it was like keeping him in winning awards territory great, but really I'm just stoked that he is living proof that overcoming a cancellation just takes never apologizing and never caring. New Artist of the Year went to Cat's Eye, who also won Music Video of the Year, beating out Ella Langley and Olivia Dean. Olivia Dean is British. I don't know why she's on the American Music Awards, but whatever. Song of the Year went to the song Golden by the band Hunter X from K-pop Demon Hunters. Like, what part of these awards is American anymore? New category, Best Throwback Song, was given to Black Eyed Peas for their song Rock That Body. Yeah, that's what it's called. They beat out Goo Goo Dolls for Iris and Four Non Blondes for What's Up. I don't know how anyone could beat Iris for any award, being that it's one of the greatest songs ever written, but especially being that it is the soundtrack for the 90s throwback meme right now. What better throwback song than that? This award is extremely on theme with the whole making money on nostalgia for the entire night, especially being that it's the first year of the award. Just throwing it in there to shamelessly say we are making money off of nostalgia. It does make sense that at the American Music Awards, the best Latin artists would be Shakira and Bad Bunny, being that Bad Bunny is from Puerto Rico, which is basically America. And Shakira is from Colombia, but nothing happens in Colombia. I don't think you can really be a celebrity there, so she pretty much just claims the US. Now an award I actually care about, Best Rock and Alternative Artist. This went to 21 Pilots, who beat out Deftones, Linkin Park, and Sleep Token, which is encouraging. I mean, it should have been a gimme to beat out Sleep Token and Linkin Park, but Deftones had a pretty major release last year with Private Music. I am surprised that Hayley Williams wasn't on the nominee list, but lately she's really just known for saying fuck ICE and free Palestine in the middle of her performances. But this ceremony had a surprising lack of political commentary, so maybe they've been trying to avoid stuff like that. But 21 Pilots have been doing a fantastic job, not just of staying relevant, but of staying innovative and productive. They had a live performance of their song Drag Path during the ceremonies, which I think is going to go down as iconic. The whole performance made me realize that the lyrics to Drag Path are about finding each other. Like through all of the crazy situations of life, they found each other to make something amazing. The performance started with Josh sitting in the middle of the stage surrounded by fog, while Tyler started the song, just him on a keyboard. And then Josh stood up to join Tyler playing a keyboard. So they were facing each other, singing at each other, playing against each other. I didn't know that Josh could play keys or sing harmonies that well, but he looked so comfortable. Like I didn't see him look down at his hands once while he was carrying the clean harmonies. Then for the big ending of the song, they split onto their instruments that they're most known for playing, which is bass and drums, and they faced the audience. It's kind of like saying that they came together and found each other so that they could take on the entire world together. I'll move on since I probably spent the majority of this video talking about that one performance. But the rest of the night was again nostalgia and throwbacks. The Pussycat Dolls performed with Busta Rhymes, showing us that Nicole Scherzinger has done nothing with her life since leaving Masked Singer. She's completely thrown away her success. New Kids on the Block rolled in the same car as their song The Right Stuff, reminding us all that Marky Mark wasn't actually part of the group. And even Hootie and the Blowfish played their song Hold My Hand, the other one that isn't I Only Want to Be With You, that everyone knows before Darius Rucker split off and then wrote the same song in country form. But to summarize, the American Music Awards are having a really tough time finding American music and modern American music. Like, why can't America just make better music lately? We have to be able to show something better than somber, K-pop, and Bad Bunny. Maybe there is actually a lack of good American music. The only genre that I can think of that Americans are staying fresh and relevant is metal, and that's not going to be celebrated at a huge ceremony like this, except for maybe Knocked Loose. And Sleep Token doesn't count. And sure, American hip-hop is always going to reign supreme, like Kendrick Lamar just keeps shitting on Drake release after release. I guess Cardi B counts as hip-hop and she's winning awards. But we've really lost our place at the top of the rock charts, pop charts. It's like Michael Jackson and Elvis did all that work for nothing. Or maybe there are some hidden gems that we're just not ready to celebrate because we're not ready to celebrate ourselves. We need bands like Turnstile and The Starting Line to show us that American rock is always the best. The Beatles just gave us a starting point. We just can't be afraid to make good music for ourselves anymore. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Stu Studio. And remember, Jesus loves you.